Good afternoon. So we're coming to the end of this trip, which was presumably, well, was officially about the cooperation between Japan and ASEAN. We commemorated the 50th year of that relationship, and many subjects were spoken about, but it is very, very clear that Japan has a clear plan to be more involved in terms of the development of the economy of ASEAN, of the Indo-Pacific region, and certainly for the Philippines. And I have to say that our relationship with Japan has grown from strength to strength, whereas before, generally speaking, our discussions were centered around trade and ODA and JICA and JBIC and ADB. Now we have entered into other, mostly for infrastructure. Now we have entered into agreements that concern other areas. One of them, of course, is security, as Japan has the same concerns in China, in the China Sea. We are in South China Sea. Sila naman nasa North China Sea. And so we have some very similar issues. And the assistance that they are providing us, the partnership that they are providing us, will have a synergy to increase our capabilities in terms of defending the peace in the China Sea. So that has taken a very large part, that has now begun to occupy a very large part of the discussions between Japan and the Philippines. I just came now from another meeting with Japanese corporations, private sector partners, some who are already in the Philippines, some who are still thinking about coming into the Philippines, although most of them really have an involvement already. As kagaya na sinasabi ko sa inyo, hindi mo masyadong believe yung basta pirma ng MOU. So pinag-report namin sila kung ano na ba nangyari doon sa mga pinirmahan natin noong nakaraang Enero. So those are the main elements of that, and I'm happy to be able to say maganda naman ang takbo at kung ano yung mga kanilang pinaplano. The Japanese generally are very efficient, so they are able to really stay within schedule in terms of their expenditures, in terms of their investment, in terms of their infrastructure development. From here, I will be going to visit His Majesty the Emperor and the Empress, their Majesties, the Emperor and the Empress, and that will again give strength to our relationship between Japan and the Philippines, as they have been kind enough, their Majesties have been kind enough to invite us to once again visit with them. I don't know if you know it, but the Philip Romualdez, the speaker's brother, was very good friends with the Emperor, and they were together in Oxford. Together, sino yung kaibigan niya na ano? Yeah, yung anak ni Chief Justice, si Toto Fernandez, he was also, wala na si Toto. But they were very good friends, and the last time that we met, he was asking if he can get halo-halo. Kasi napakain daw ni Philip doon sa Philippine Embassy doon sa London. So I guess we will revisit some of that. All right, let me open the floor.
Yes, sir. First question from Ms. Joyce Balancho of ABS-CBN.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Sir, the decision of the two leaders to hasten the conclusion of the negotiations for the RAA, does it have something to do with the recent incidents over the West Philippine Sea?
No, it's been in the works for way before that. Of course, the incidents in the past few couple of months has certainly sharpened our focus when it comes to that. But again, that's one of the things that I am looking forward to. That will be that will have a big multiplier effect to our capabilities. These are the kind of arrangements we are making not only with Japan, but also with other countries around China Sea in the Pacific region. And it has become a very important part of these trips that we take. That kahit na halimbawa, it is a plenary session, ang pinag-uusapan is climate change, kaya kung lapitan kung sino man and said, baka pwede natin pag-usapan tungkol dito sa security issues sa South China Sea. And this is one of the products of that. We also have the same kind of negotiations or discussions with many other countries. So we'll continue to do that para maraming tumutulong sa atin sa problema ang hinaharap natin sa South China Sea.
Sir, just to follow up, have we set a specific timeline on the finalization of the RAA?
I think both the Prime Minister and I agree, ASAP. Lahat ito is as soon as possible. Yesterday, if not sooner.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Catherine Valiente of the Manila Times.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. Sir, may we get your comment on the reported presence of an extraordinary number of 11 Chinese vessels in Ayungin Shoal, and meron din na pong 27 other ships surrounding the shoal.
Yeah.
Is there a commitment from Japanese Prime Minister Kishida to help us in this kind of swarming incidents in our territory?
Well, of course, we are exerting all efforts, no? But we have to be very careful that we do not overreact, that we do not that we do not make mistakes that might be misinterpreted by anyone. Kailangan talaga maingat tayo dahil pag may nangyari ulit dyan, if we heighten the tensions, it won't lead us to a good result. So we are being very circumspect in the actions that we will take.
Thank you, sir. Alan Francisco, PTV4.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yeah. With the investments that we received from Japanese companies, how would you describe your visit here in Japan, sir, and how many business deals that we got?
Well, I think the number that was given to us today, just for those pledges. Pledge pa lang ito, but at least may opening na tayo. It was US. 9 companies, but to the value of 14 billion. Yeah. Sorry? Yes, pesos. But some of these are extensions of already existing contracts. Mag-expand lang sila ng operation nila. But the more important part is 200,000+ new jobs. That's also an enormous part of the, SecDec.
Actually, there are two parts today. So the nine new. Thank you. There are two parts today. The signing of new MOUs, that's 9 new MOUs with a total value of 14 billion pesos. But more importantly, about 20+ companies gave updates to the President today of their pledges from the trip last February. And on that part, we don't have the exact number today, but 169 billion pesos of actualized investments from the trip earlier this year.
Yes.
What sectors, sir?
Oh, various.
Oh, you name it.
Semiconductors,
Semiconductors, healthcare, of course, infrastructure. Ang presence ng Japanese sa infrastructure development is very high profile. But security, agri, ano pa bang napag-usapan natin? Oh, yeah, filters, yes, yeah. But many of these projects that the investments that they're bringing in are not only for the Philippine market, they are also for foreign markets. So that will also improve our external balance of payments.
Thank you, sir. Alexis Romero, Philippine Star.
Magandang hapon, Mr. President. Given the given the recent reports about the supposedly disrespectful behavior of the Chinese ambassador, si Ambassador Wang, including his reported bullying of no less than the AFP chief, are you still comfortable with the envoy, and will the Philippine government ask China to recall the ambassador?
Well, he's the ambassador of China, so he will always state the Chinese position. Again, kung siguro akong personally ang pinag-usapan, maybe I'll be upset. But you're not talking about me, we're talking about the Philippines. So it doesn't serve any purpose for us to lose our temper or to overreact. So kung yan ang gustong ibigay sa atin ng ambassador ng China, wala naman hindi naman sa atin. I mean, kung talagang objectionable siya, you can make it known to Beijing. But I think Ambassador Wang is just doing his job. He's just doing his job. He's continuing to state the Chinese narrative. Of course, we don't agree with that narrative. But I cannot see him doing anything else. And so we just keep trying. We'll just keep trying. Because the truth of the matter is, kahit mapalitan na si Ambassador Wang, pareho pa rin ang sasabihin ng susunod na ambassador. Dahil yun ang linya ng China. So hindi nila titigil yan. So we have to, that's why we have to work around it. We cannot overreact. Yung mga iba nga napipiko, sabi ko, hindi naman tungkol sa atin to, tungkol sa Pilipinas ito. Kung magkamali tayo, hindi malaking gulo. So we don't want to go anywhere near that situation.
Pero follow-up lang, Mr. President. But would you have wanted that the manner of asserting China's peace position be a little bit different? Kasi marami nagrereklamo dun sa kanyang way of doing his
of
job.
course. I wish that we had talked about it over the table as opposed to colliding with each other on each other's ships in the open sea. So, of course, I would have preferred a less confrontational method of trying to decide these things. So, but it is what it is.
Salamat po.
Yeah.
Sir, other issue? Mayan Los Baños of TV5 on the budget.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon po. Sir, on the 2024 national budget, which has been ratified by the House of Representatives and the Senate, sir, what do you think about it? Any comments on the deletion of the confidential funds, which will affect both OVP and DepEd, both headed by VP Sara, sir?
Well, that was actually the initiative of the Vice President. When I'm talking about the confidential funds, and to not insist that they have such a confidential fund. So I think, as far as I'm concerned, it is a settled issue. The budget, I think, is very closely follows what our original NEP was. So, although what we have to do now is that there is still a gap, a differential between the appropriated funds and the funds that we have collected thus far. So there's a certain amount that we now have extra that we now have to collect. But I'm confident in that because we're changing the system in customs. We're changing, well, the BIR has been very efficient at making the collections, but we are still providing new initiatives to make business easier and also to increase our collection. In fact, during the signing of the LOI, nandun si Commissioner John Lumagi. And while they were signing the LOI, sabi niya, kinakalkula ko na yung koleksyon ko. So sabi ko, maaabot pa ba yung kulang natin? Sabi niya, siguro naman. So I'm fairly comfortable with the way the budget has turned out. We just have to do a little work over the year to make sure that we cover the differential between the actual the appropriated funds and the unappropriated funds that have been appropriated by Congress, by the House and the Senate.
Compound question na po, sir. Will you be signing it on Wednesday, and how will the 2024 national budget be responsive to the WPS challenges po? How will it be responsive to the West Philippine Sea challenges?
Well, again, it's difficult for me to talk about operational capabilities and things like that. But we will improve that. We will improve our operational capabilities in every way that we can. But that's not the only side to that story. Even if we go up to the desired level of spending on defense, up to 2% of GDP, we will still be very not comparative in terms of actual military force to the Chinese. I think that's obvious to everyone. So that's not the only side to the problem. We have to, again, as I mentioned before, continue to ally ourselves with as many countries around the world, especially in Asia, but in the Pacific area, but around the world. And the key to being able to speak with a unified voice is essential, and that will only come with strong coalitions between different countries, amongst different countries.
Masasign po sa Wednesday?
Huh?
Masasign na po ang budget sa Wednesday, sir? Will you
Yes,
be
I think
signing?
we're scheduled for Wednesday. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Last question, Bethina Yunite of Manila Bulletin.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, how would you assess your performance this year, sir, and what are your goals and outlook for 2024? Thank you po.
Well, I think this year, 2023 was really the year of structural changes. So those structural changes were necessary because we have to remodel or readjust rather for example, our fiscal policy, even our monetary policy, our spending policy, so that we are slowly moving, or not so slowly, so we're moving away from the COVID economy. So that's really what we studied the government, we studied the economy, and started to come to a few answers. Some of it is structural that we have had to do. But now those structural changes should start to well, they already have, but they will even have a greater effect in 2024 than they did in 2023. They are just some of the changes that we did to the fiscal tax structure, some of the changes that we did to the ease of doing business. All of these things are just beginning to work now, because it's only now that we have changed the structure of the different agencies, and equally importantly, that we are beginning to find the best people for each of those positions.
Sir, your outlook po or goals po for 2024, sir?
How?
Your goals or outlook po for 2024?
Mahabang listahan yan. Well, it doesn't really change that we will continue to modernize. Medyo obsolete na yung ibang structures natin sa gobyerno. That we continue to modernize, we continue to be responsive to the new economy, that we position ourselves properly. We're moving, but we're moving in the right direction. But if you ask me, I'm always I always feel it's too slow, it's too slow, it's too slow. So we will just keep pushing and pushing and pushing para matapos lahat ito so that we can start to feel the effects of those changes that we made.